Richards Bay add further misery to Kaizer Chiefs' woeful week. This is Amakosi's fourth defeat in a row. Now, the defeat tonight highlights all the things that have been going wrong for the Kaizer Chiefs, as most of the fans have been crying that the depth of the Kaizer Chiefs and the quality of the squad is not good enough to start off. My name is Ashley Bohashwi and you are watching Harlem Sports. Now, going into the game, we saw from the onset that the Kaizer Chiefs, just from seeing the starting lineup, Sabo, they had 4 at the back, 3 in the middle, as well as 3 up front. Now, by just looking at the defense, Sabo, you could already see that there was an imbalance, because the Kaizer Chiefs decided today they would rather play at the back with 2 center backs who are left-footed. Now, for many people who do know that Ebola is that it's very, very rare that you find a center back as E2 who are left-footed. And when both center backs are left-footed in the game, it means that your balance, you at the back, you will struggle. You will struggle, as you will not be able to play out from both sides. Now, Ukros as well as Umakhathi, just the quality in them, besides them being left-footed, is that Umakhathi recently got promoted from EDDC, and Umakhathi is already being considered as the main defender in Kaizer Chiefs. Now, on my side, I do not understand how does that work, that he's already being considered as the main defender in Kaizer Chiefs. And then moving on to Cross as the other center back. Center Cross, he was signed as a left back as a Kaizer Chiefs. He is not a center back. If he needs to compete, he will need to compete at a center back. Now, this just further highlights the lack of depth and lack of equality that the Kaizer Chiefs have. Because at the center back on the weekend, we saw that Ukwinika, he got turned by Umuremi, as well as Umiguel. He was not able to keep up with the defense, Orlando Pirates. And then also moving into midfield, after a long time, we saw that the Kaizer Chiefs, they brought back Umtetwa. Now, many of the Kaizer Chiefs supporters early in the season, they were complaining one thing about Umtetwa, is that Umtetwa is not able to pass, and he loses the ball, as there are many turnovers when Umtetwa is on the field. Now, by just having Umtetwa already, Kaizer Chiefs, they would know that they will not be able to play out, as many of the times when we saw that when Kaizer Chiefs had the ball at the back, nobody was collecting the ball from the defense to join with the midfield. Also, what I also picked up from Solomons, every time that the Kaizer Chiefs is starting the ball at the back, there is 3 back. Bano Shinga, Bano McCarthy, as well as Cross. But every time Solomons, but before Chiefs start the ball, he's already on the halfway line. That means that he's not trying to start a build-up play with the defender Zaki. It means that the Kaizer Chiefs are looking to play the ball long. Also, Bryce Wuma, if you look at him, every single time he was not looking to play the ball short to start the game. So what I'm trying to say is that in all of these instances, all of these players, they're not willing to play. So there is no ways that the Kaizer Chiefs is going to dominate a game. I saw that Userenyo was played, as well as Uchizlet. But if you have Uchizlet, you know that Uchizlet drifts a lot to the left-hand side, where he was occupying space Sakabeli Bai and leaving his space Saga number 10, meaning that there is no number 10, because Userenyo was played out on the other side. On Richards Bay, credit to Ujinja, Uzotwane, because from the first half, we could see that Richards Bay, they were looking to play the ball. They were looking to play the ball, even though they were not able to penetrate, because every single time the Richards Bay had the ball, they were looking to start the ball from the back. From the Richards Bay side, you could see that the quality was not as much as they would have wanted, because I believe that the quality of Kaizer Chiefs and the Richards Bay was plus minus roughly the same. Richards Bay were able to take on Kaizer Chiefs in the first half. And if you look at in many of the instances on the first half, because Solomons had been pushing up, and instead of defending and staying in his place, Kaizer Chiefs, they were outnumbered, meaning that on the right-hand side of the defensive Kaizer Chiefs were outnumbered. That is why we saw that many of the times that the ball was being played through a right-hand side, and just unfortunately that Richards Bay were not able to convert. Now, after that, there was not really much to speak about, because the Kaizer Chiefs, they were not really able to create chances the way they would have wanted to create chances. As I was saying, that the ball was not going through, there was no connection between Undovu as well as Umabu. And then whenever Kaizer Chiefs had the ball, we saw that they were overturning the ball every time. And that is why we saw that Umtetwa got booked in the first half. Coming out of the second half, you would have expected that the Kaizer Chiefs would have done something better, but it goes back to the lack of equality that they have, is that they do not really have much that they can offer, and it was just a matter of time before they would get caught on the break. Now, if you're going to defend with three, whether you like it or not, you've got speedy wingers in Upans, and you've got players Richards who can run into sooner or later, and you know that McCarthy as well as Cross, they are not comfortable. They are going to make mistakes, and we saw that many of the times before the goal came, there was a mistake even in the first half from McCarthy, was not able to connect. We saw that mistake in the second half by Kaizer Chiefs at the back, let Richards pay through, and the only reason why they let them through is because they are not defending right, and until they get that right, they will not be able to win any games. Fortunately enough for Richards, they were able to get through, and you know, in most cases with the Kaizer Chiefs of late, every time it is a one-on-one or shorted goal, Kaizer Chiefs is going to concede. At 1-0, you did not know where Kaizer Chiefs was going to find a goal. They brought Ono Bartman, but at this point it's pointless to bring Ono Bartman because Kaizer Chiefs are not looking to play. They are just looking for a route one football and looking for a goal to come out of nowhere. Now, on my side, the way I view football is not a game of chances. It's a game that you need to create chances, and the way that you create chances, you increase the probabilities. You firstly need to get the right players. If you do not have the players who can handle the pressure, Kaizer Chiefs, they will not be able to do the right thing. It's 4 games in a row, and we can see that the players at Kaizer Chiefs, they are sinking. There is no way back for them. As I'm saying that the way they are currently playing, I don't believe that the Kaizer Chiefs will be able to stay in the top 8. And I believe that what is happening to Kaizer Chiefs now is what is supposed to be happening in the early stages of the season. But just fortunately, in the early stages of the season, Kaizer Chiefs was getting results as a 1-0. That's why they were not able to pick up that there were big problems. Also, in the January transfer window, Kaizer Chiefs did not add anyone to a squad. So it means that they are running on whatever the free transfers that they had gotten last year. Now, Kaizer Chiefs, it's not surprising that they are playing like this. So as long as the management, they are not taking Itemiabo serious, they are not spending money like Sundowns did. We saw Sundowns on the weekend. When they went behind, they brought on a number of players who was able to make a difference. So in Kaizer Chiefs, they will have to go in a checkbook and spend money for them to be able to come back to E-League. Because as it stands now, Pirates and Sundowns, they are way ahead of them. Like the video, share the video, and then I will catch you on the next one. Thank you.